Kala, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, Brakatahawa, Brakatahawa Shai, the water, Abba, Abba, called Kadash. I'd like to give double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone that teaches truth, the 100% truth, according to the Bible. The title of this lesson today is going to be called A Recipe for Disaster. And it's based off some YouTube videos I was watching where police where they go into these Jake neighborhoods and they have to police these neighborhoods because of all the turmoil that's going on in these communities, man. These so-called black communities. And a lot of these communities are orchestrated and built up by Esau Edom. And it's really a trap. It's a trap for you Jakes, man, to lure you into these communities and and nothing but a recipe for disaster. And Esau Edom has been doing this for, since he's been over here into the to the Americas. First he did it to the Native Americans by forcing them on reservations, and these reservations are like, small knit communities, small tight communities where there's no resources and they have to depend on Esau Edom for need and want of everything. Let me hit this other precept, Isaiah chapter 5, verse 8. Woe unto them that join house to house and lay field to field, till there be no place that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. And that's what these project communities, man, are structured to be, where you can't find no peace, and I grew up, don't get me wrong, I grew up in one of these project communities, man. I remember vividly. So when I watch these clips, it just brings back haunting memories, man, of how, don't get me wrong, we had a lot of fun as kids. You can get into a lot of shit without having adult supervision, so you pretty much left to your own devices. But all that is lead to a recipe for disaster, because we got into a lot of things that we should not have gotten into. And by the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, some of us were able to escape those ratchet communities, man, that we were raised up in. So, and I remember vividly, if one person moved in that building that had that was nasty and filthy and they had roaches, everybody in that community ended up with roaches in their house. No matter how much you try to clean and all that, because the roaches gonna find their way through the walls, through the doors, and they're gonna end up in your house. You can go in there and spray, you can clean and all that. You're gonna have roaches, you're gonna have rats and mice and all those things. Really, like one of the brothers, this guy that does a podcast, call them Keisha's rat communities, and that's what they are, man. And all this is orchestrated by Esau Edom. And I remember vividly, you had a neighbor on top of you, and their room was next to yours. You can hear him and his wife in there having intimacy or arguments. All that shit, travel through these paper thin walls, man, with no insulation. Somebody smoking weed in the house next door is coming into your house. You have to smell that shit. You have to deal with it. So I remember that shit very vividly, man. Coming into a pissy hallway, somebody trifling, going there, piss behind the washers or dryers in that building. The whole damn building gonna smell like piss, man. So yeah, these are ratchet ass project communities, man, that Esau Edom has forced our people into. And it's all by design. They took the jobs out of these Jake neighborhoods that we had, houses that we had built in. They gave the woman a decree in order for her to have her own provisions, her own house. She has kids out of wedlock, and as more kids she had, we reward her with more food stamps, and that's how that worked. She could have a man in the house. They come in and do searches in the house to make sure there were no men clothing, no men items. There was no shavers in the bathroom. Checking the drawers and shit like that. They did it under the guise of them, we're checking to make sure you're not running the place down. But they go through, they check the closet for men clothing. So let that make sense, And they know that a man brings stability to to a household. So they know if you take that stability out of the household, you're going to create nothing but confusion and chaos, because a woman is not, the Lord deprived her of wisdom, man, of being able to run that household the way it's supposed to be. Therefore, Esau Edom becomes the man of that house. And we know how ratchet he is, man. St. Matthew chapter 12, verse 29. Or else how can you enter a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except first you bind the strong man, and then you will spoil his house. So how do they bind the strong man? How did they bind Jake? By taking his family away from him. Then they created all type of oppressive conditions around, where they forced Jake into a lot of times selling dope, to getting involved in street activities, things that's going to cause the young Jakes, man, to be like wild bulls, man. And then, you know, actually you took the man out of the house, and then therefore there's no structure in that household, because we know it's supposed to be man over the woman, which over the household. Once you break that structure that your house shall put in place, man, you're going to have nothing but turmoil. And then one thing, how it works in these communities, you know, young Jakes, once you turn 18, you know, you have to get out of the house. So a lot of Jakes, they're not prepared for the world. So what first thing they're going to fall into? They're going to fall into the street life, you know, hustling and selling dope, trying to find a place, you know, provide for itself. Then the young Keishas that grow up in these communities, once they turn 18, she's got to leave the house. In order for her to leave the house, so she's got to have some kids out of wedlock. Therefore, she can get a housing voucher, so she can get her own apartment in these unstructured communities. And you know, it's a repeated cycle over and over again, man. A cycle of destruction that's designed to destroy you so-called blacks, man. You so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They force these conditions on you. Then therefore you become more degeneracy each generation after the next, because you're so far separated from your truth, man, from my laws, statutes, and commandments. And now we see the condition, and we see the result of it in today's society, man. You see how Jake is living. You see how these communities have become war zones, man. These women run war zones, man, that's producing these young, effeminate Jakes. You know, first thing they don't fight. First thing they do is pull out a gun and start shooting. You got these ratchet communities with these young Keishas that's having these young kids out of wedlock. Hell, she don't even know how to raise herself. Then now she's got to produce a child, you know, and that either gonna force them into being over masculine or gonna be over lewd, man. She's gonna be like a whore, you know. Therefore, Esau Edom could get access to her, because a lot of them are selling their bodies, man. These young women, you know, after the age of 12, man, they ran through already. Majority of them ran through, and then you throw in that recipe of social media, and with these ratchet movies and shit that's pushed out through the music, and then you see what we end up with, man. How that shit manifests into these degenerate communities that our people are growing up in. Like I said, myself foremost, man. I was raised up in these communities, man. And we didn't have no fathers in the community, so we had to learn from the old heads ahead of us. And they didn't learn shit. So how are we going to learn anything? It's like the blind leading the blind into a ditch. But through the will and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh, many of us were able to escape, man. For me, a lot of my structure and what the Lord set it up for me, man, is either through sports and, you know, like my coaches, and that kind of led me and guided me out. Then other things that kind of, you know, led me away from those communities, man. But I got a video I want to show, and it's going to, matter of fact, let me go ahead and get into it, and then we'll go from there. Now I'm gonna kind of jump back and forth through it.
They was out here fighting. They was doing a whole bunch of, and they don't live together. No, I want them trespass those kids. She's 13.
And that's the property manager. You know, we always have those property managers. Some of them are just as fucked up as the tenants that be in there.
Yeah.
you're the
I'm the property manager. Yep. Her and then Nara. I want both of them off my property.
What's your daughter?
Where's your granddaughter?
We can't speed through.
So we came.
Yes, I do.
Damn it.
KV show you something?
Yes.
Fair use, only for educational purposes.
And you stay here or no?
No.
You don't live here? Or what are you doing here?
Huh?
What are you doing here?
My mom had to work, so we came down here.
Okay. How did you guys get here?
Our mother.
Huh?
Our mother.
Your mom dropped you off here? Your mom dropped you off here?
See, if you had a father in the house
Where's your auntie?
raising his kids, you wouldn't have this shit. You know, he'd be out
Oh,
there
the one
working,
with the black shirt?
getting a fair wage, and the mother should be at home raising these kids, man.
This right here? Hey, come over here, quick.
So when Esau Edom runs our communities, this is what you get, man. Nothing but disaster.
No.
What's your first name?
Sanaya.
Spell your first name?
SHA-NIYA.
S-H-A?
Let me speed through a little bit.
N-I-Y-A? That's the
Hey,
whole
be
situation.
quiet. Listen, be quiet. But y'all get me fucking put out. Shut up and stop arguing with them. Let them have that. Be quiet.
No order, man. Nothing but chaos,
I'm
man.
handling it, officer.
Yeah, because, I mean, exactly what she's going to do, get you put out.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find rent out here.
It is. Y'all
Figure that out.
Nothing but a trap, man. Esau Edom is set for our people. But two-thirds of our people can't see it.
Did you enter home right now? They're not. They might be busy. That's her mom. She's telling her kids to go inside.
Yeah, that's my daughter. I'm telling her to shut up.
Okay.
Let them go get who they want to get longer. They not saying y'all.
No fucking order, man.
No, yeah.
Don't argue with nobody. Let them do what they want to do.
Youth group home has altercation between two roommates earlier this morning. Find the medics. They waiting in a Vita Nova van with the victim's SDG suspects in Arian Williams. I don't know if the suspect's still 97.
Do you have the forms, the trespassing form? Yeah. We can just do Did she tell you what's going on?
Well, yeah, I guess that, these kids be on this Instagram and all this other stuff that I'm not even familiar with. So apparently they was going back and forth with some messages and this, that, and the third or whatever. And the girl Nari, I guess, kept calling them out to fight or whatever. So
Nothing but
when I
women,
was in the
man.
house,
Women
my daughter
running
was
this shit.
outside. And she's like, Mom, the girl want to fight me this and that. I said, girl, you're not fighting nobody. Like, what are you doing? So I said, matter of fact, I don't even tell you to come out of your phone. So
Hey, come on, man.
The one without the shirt.
Go sit in the car, man. Escalating the situation, man.
Okay, that's the girl who got into a fight. I didn't know that. Why you sit there? No!
This one right here.
Yo, that's the one that got into a fight.
So where's all you guys coming from?
What you mean? That's my sister. I got called that my sister got
You
jumped.
guys all live here?
I came over here to get my sister.
We're not doing that. Yeah, we in the car that
Them kids, hello?
No, they say that y'all
You make a
She said, she told them that, I said something. When I walked up, she said something about,
We'll get to that part.
let me talk. When I walked up, she was telling them something about me and her said we're going to call somebody different. My sister did say that. I didn't say nothing. The little girl in the white that supposedly jumped to the fight, I told my sister that you need to fight her. The girl that's already here. I never said anything about calling nobody, so don't say I said nobody calling nobody. So fix your legs.
Hey, we're not doing this disrespectful stuff now. Come on now, we're not doing this disrespectful stuff. We're not doing the disrespectful stuff.
So were they the other group that was? We're gonna trespass her because she was the one involved, but she doesn't live here. And all them came to support her, so they're all leaving now.
I was just called by this little back out. Fix my leg. And she's still telling me to fix my leg.
Ma'am, do not entertain those little ratchets that's just running their mouth over here.
Yeah, she disrespected me, and like, what if all my kids saw it would have been a big brawl? Like, she's a child. I'm 38 years old. What if somebody's out here disrespecting y'all mom like that?
Out of fucking
Just
control,
because I
man.
heard her
Out
talking
of
about she
control.
finna call
Man.
people over here. I just tried to say that. They talking about they calling people out here. You didn't see nothing.
Can you 50 on both of them this property, please? Hey, you don't. Do not go over there.
I thought I told you to get your stuff. I gave you my stuff. Get in. It's in my room. But I told you to get your stuff. I gave you my stuff. What is it?
All right, who else? Her too? Where's the other one? Where's the? That's her right here. Hey, get in the car. Let's go.
She has her own transportation. Get out the room.
Are you verbally or written?
Both written.
Any address is the 514 Winter News, Mobile Saddlebrook?
Come on. Yeah, she's waiting on her ride. Come on, girl. Take this one to her mama John.
Okay, why can't you guys take her as well? Hey, come back here. Hold on. What's your name again?
Shania. Shania.
Knowing that you've been trespassed from this place. You understand?
I'm gonna go.
Okay, come here. I need your right thumbprint over here. So your right thumbprint. Hold it down. Right here, your thumb. Hey, come over here.
Yeah, look, people.
Come over here. Come here.
It's only fair. Y'all ain't gonna do shit.
Come on. Hey!
She told me.
Come here.
That whole shit been doing all that when I was up. Okay. No, doing all that when I was up. See?
Star supervisor over here. We have a group spray.
You gotta come in, spray our people, man, like fucking roaches, man. Big ass can of Raid, and we gotta spray our, ain't our people, man. These 2/3, these are heathen. These are the heathen, man. That's why they gotta be destroyed. They gotta be destroyed on this side. Look, that's why Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai gonna bring that heat. It's like a house full of bed bugs, man. Damn, they gotta burn the whole house down and start over. That's what the Lord is gonna do. 2/3 are gonna have to be destroyed on this side.
Give me a second.
Where my baby at?
We're gonna figure that out.
My nails is broke.
Stop moving.
Where is Jameer at? Where's Jameer at? Where's Jameer at? My nails is broke.
Hey,
Come on.
hey. Why would you spray that, bro?
Wait, let me wipe my eye. Let me wipe my eye.
Hey, can you give us some water? That's not gonna do nothing. Just give us some water. Yo, why would you?
Man, what's up? Oh, let me go. Let me go. You let me go.
Go get some water, get some milk.
Get some milk, Chacha. Go. What the fuck? Bro. They better let me come out of this bitch no more. Oh, God. They better let me come out of this bitch no more.
Yo, why would you?
Oh, God. My cousin don't see none of that shit. I don't see none of that shit.
Listen.
Oh, God. I'm telling you.
That's your son right there?
These are young, tender, and delicate women, man.
Get in here real quick. Sit in here. I'll get somebody to get you some water.
inside the belly of the beast, man, here in Babylon the Great.
I know he's got to get it settled when he can. Jennifer, we haven't switched one.
Back on West North, just advise that. Had a group split over here.
For GE traffic, we have units coming to you.
Yeah, you could have 1 or 2 coming, or 5. Yeah. Hey, just 1 Bravo 8. Have me out here. 1 Bravo 8, Eastern 12.
Hey, so guys,
Everybody else clear out over here. Everybody clear out. Clear. Now, clear out. We don't want nobody else over here.
Well, that's about pretty much it, man. But I just want to kind of use that as a reference point to go back to show how Jake has been destroyed, man, here in Babylon the Great, man. And it's not going to get any better. I don't care who they vote in, put in there, Trump or this damn Harris, man. Kamala Harris, it's going to be even worse, man. This shit's going to wax worse and worse. Because the way the society is set up, man, it's designed that way. It's designed for you Jakes to fail, man. And the Lord allowed it to happen because, you know, that's the wicked 2/3, you know, from the time of Noah. I'm saying it's that same generation that's back and it's being set up for this final destruction. Those rat-infested project communities, man, that's run by nothing but women, nothing but chaos, man. What good can really come out of it, you know, unless it's the will of the Lord to bring, you know, to bring whoever you want out of those communities, man. The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 3. I'm going to read on down through 5. They have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against our hidden ones. They have said, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. And that's these other nations, you know, they know who we are. They know that we are the Lord's chosen people. And so to keep us separated from our power, man, they give us gifts, you know, these things that's going to lure you away from the truth, man. And part of that gift is that Section 8, government grants sending our women off to college to learn feminism. You know, EBT, all these things, man, these gifts designed to keep you separated from your power and not be self-sufficient upon our own nation. We have to depend on these devils for everything. And anything that he gives us, man, is always something attached to it. So these other nations, man, they conspire together. They know that we the Lord chosen people. They know who we are. Everybody know but Israel. And then we try to warn our people and tell them who they are. They've been brainwashed so bad, they refuse to hear it, you know. And that's why the Lord's setting them up, man. They setting them up for that destruction. The wicked of our people along with these heathens, because a lot of these heathens are orchestrating it. They sit back and watch, man. They say, look at your people. These supposed to be the Lord's so-called chosen people. Look at them out here. They wild, man. It's like fucking wild beasts, you know. And these are the Lord's chosen people. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I planted thee a noble vine, holy, a great seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant, a strange vine unto me? So you can imagine what it's like for Ezra and the Apostle John the Revelator, when they had these visions, they were to come back in this day and time and to see what our people have become, man. They see what the women have become, turned into Akeisha with these long ass crazy eyelashes, you know. She's stubborn, she's loud, she's boastful, you know, nothing soft about them, you know, like brute beasts, man. And then the young men walking around with the pants sagging, hair looking wild, man, you know, all mollied out, you know, toting nothing but guns. You know, when the prophets came back and saw this vision, man, you can imagine how horrible it was, man, how much of a horror it was, you know, to see our people in such a degenerate state that they've become. Imagine from the time past and being transported into the future and seeing what our people become, man. It's like a damn horror show it would have been to them. And that's how it is for the Lord, man. He can't recognize our people. You know, we what Esau Edom has created, man. He created a nigger, straight up nigger, man. And the only thing that's going to save it is that fire, man. It's going to be destruction, and them being brought back through the loins of the elect. 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 12. But these are natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed. Speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. And what is Jake doing? Jake is destroying himself, man. You got Jake out here doing the work of what the Ku Klux Klan used to do. Jake out here, you know, destroying each other because he's born in another neighborhood, you know. And these women that's producing kids, these young girls that's producing kids, man, they don't know how to raise these kids, man. And so our people are perishing under their own destruction, man. Our people are doing the self-inflicting wounds that's destroying our. Esau had already put in and designed our people and prepared them to destroy their own selves. You know, he's programmed them for Jake to destroy his own self. All you got to do is sit back and watch the carnage begin. You wait till there's no more 911 and we go into these communities, what it's going to be like, man. When those police can't come there to show up. And I kind of sympathize with the police in a lot of these cases, man, that I've been watching, man, because imagine you coming in there and have to try to police that shit. You know, they're not listening to you. They wild as hell. You know, you're really putting your life in danger, you know. And so once that 911 is done and over with, man, it's going to be straight carnage out here. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate women among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and towards the son, and towards her daughter. And you see here, man, ain't nothing tender about these women, man. They walking around wild, they boisterous, you know, looking like wild animals. Don't refuse to listen, take any type of accountability. And they're like brute beasts, man. Like I said, Lord, what like that scripture says, the tender and delicate woman which would not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness. They become hard, man. They harden against their children, against their young ones. You go back to 2 Peter 2 and 12. But these are natural brute beasts, what they become, made to be taken out and destroyed. And they're going to be destroyed in that fire, man. When the Lord bring those angels and he let those ICBM nuclear missiles be set over here. This place is like a giant altar for the Lord, man. All that blood has been spilled is going to be purified through that fire. It's not going to be the whole world. It's going to be Babylon the Great. It's going to be our homeland, and these other nations are going to feel the effect. But Babylon the Great here in America, man, it's going to be utterly destroyed. It's going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. The book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 3 through 5. The aged woman likewise, that be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. And most of them girls up about the age of like 18 and 19 and 17, they supposed to be wise, but you know, in our society, they would be wise by now. They would be keepers at home. They would be in the house raising their children, how it's supposed to be raised, you know. Not out here in the streets running around fighting and all the other bullshit they're carrying on. Verse 5, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands. Because in our kingdom, they're going to have husbands, man. They're going to have husbands. They're going to have men that's going to rule over them and going to keep them in order. Not out there in the streets running around with the kids fighting and not knowing where your kids are. That the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed, man. And they're going to stand on that word. They're going to stand on these laws, statutes, commandments. That's what they're going to abide by. And if they don't, they're going to be destroyed. So we're going to finish off with Prophet Isaiah chapter 5, verse 8. Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. And you see those project communities, man, nothing but a recipe for disaster for our people, because nothing's going on in these communities, but nothing but degeneracy, man. Wickedness, turmoil. They got nothing on their hands, man. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. So all it is, man, is creating this cluster of our people. They're not progressive. They're not doing anything. They're not doing anything that's worthwhile, that's beneficial to the community. Only thing they're doing is producing a next generation of degenerate behavior, man. You might have one or two that might make it out of there, but for the most part, man, most of them are destroyed, and they passing that shit on down to the next. That's why the Lord is going to bring that fire, man. And Esau Edom knows exactly what he's doing, man. When he set all these decrees in order to put our people to be self-sufficient upon them, and then he can come in there and do his magic, man. He can do his enchantment on our people. Goes back to the movie, they cloned Tyrone, man. They programmed these Jakes, man, to be niggas, man. Niggas be fit like wild beasts to be destroyed. So that being said, man, hopefully this lesson is edifying. With that, say shalom.